Alright, I'm too lazy to type this, so I'm going to record something. But I happen to be playing DayZ at the same time, so it works out. Why should you buy DayZ? Okay, and valid question. It is a unique game. It's in pre-alpha state, all that good stuff. I've been playing for about 2 years now. I was playing the mod, and then it's been over 2 years now. Um, I think the biggest thing about DayZ that makes it unique and compelling is the fact that and it's probably the most dangerous thing about the type of game that it is. It's completely open-ended, and really your experience is dictated largely by other players. So that being said, it can go a lot of different directions, and everyone's experience is going to vary in regard to quality. And so you may hop on and play for 2 hours and nothing happens, or you get killed 6 times and it's frustrating, and that's the end of the game for you, and you get bored and you don't know what the mass appeal is, or you end up getting on and playing and having an epic experience and meeting people and trolling people and doing all this stuff, and then it's a compelling experience. So I think that's the biggest thing about DayZ is it's extremely non-linear beyond a point that they could ever achieve with just artificial intelligence. And that being said, it's a very social game if you like that. For a long time we played World of Warcraft, and it was a social experience for us. We got together certain nights, we played, we communicated while we were playing, we worked together as a team, and it almost felt like you're hanging out with your friends versus, let's say, StarCraft, where you're so engulfed in what's going on that you're not necessarily communicating about, goings on in life or just whatever. Not as much time to socialize. Or in games like Battlefield, where there's a sense of that if you run around as a squad and do things right, but generally you're spawning all over the place. You're who's got the highest kill to death ratio. That whole dynamic I think doesn't necessarily exist. So in DayZ, you're really working towards a common goal, which is survival, and that can be very intense. I think the level of intensity with the fact that you value your life is on par, I think, with, let's say, like World of Warcraft arenas we used to do, even a StarCraft match where you have this high level of reward and a high level of frustration at the same time. It makes it worth a lot more when it's not just a simple defeat or a simple victory, but when there's actually some time and effort that's put behind it. I would say that if you're going to be doing it by yourself, Rocket said multiple times, if the people who are on the fence should probably wait. If you've watched enough streams that it becomes compelling to you. I first got into DayZ because I had seen a stream by Destiny, the StarCraft player, and he was playing, and that experience that he was going through kind of caught my eye, and then just after having played it now, and the thing about the game that I like the most is that each life is an adventure, and there's been plenty of times where we'll sit around the next day at work, or we'll be chatting on the phone or whatever, and we'll recall these experiences that we went through together. We're looting a downed helicopter crash, and we have this epic thing happen, this engagement with these other guys. An example is my buddy Justin and Derek were playing one night, and they came across this helicopter crash. So they have these downed helicopter crashes throughout the world, and zombies are infecting them. The crew from the helicopter is kind of infecting and protecting the gear. So there's high level military loot, guns and scopes and ammo and all that stuff, kind of on the night vision goggles on some of the zombies and stuff like that. And so you want to go and get that gear. So because ammo is very limited in the game, as you can imagine, that type of thing. And so anyway, people, they're coming upon this helicopter crash, and all of a sudden they hear something. They hear these people talking or whatever. They kind of all duck in the bushes. It's nighttime, and the guys that are coming in are like very skilled. They see silhouettes coming over the hill. They see them throwing glow sticks out, and coordinating in some sort of formation. And real life military tactics actually are applicable in this environment, and these guys are doing it. You know, they have a person sitting watching a certain position, and I mean, and ultimately, you know, Justin and Derek brought a couple of them down, but they ultimately ended up dying. But just, you know, the compelling story they were able to tell, and that engagement that lasted 45 minutes, you know, high level of anxiety with the engagement. You know, it's whenever this. The interesting thing about the game is when you have no gear, you don't really give a shit. You'll run around, you'll be carefree or whatever, and then you start getting gear, and just that alone gives you investment in your character, and then you start becoming more and more careful. You stop running around the cities willy-nilly, because at any given time, you know, a stray bullet could, you know, end your life. Not stray, but you know what I'm saying. Like, so you got to be really cautious. You don't know where it could come from. The zombies are really a non-event, and they, quite honestly, in the mod they were too. And so they're going to become a little bit more of a thing. You know, if you fire a bullet, there's consequence, because then the zombies come swarming at you, type thing. But really, the interaction between you and other players, you and other real people, is what kind of drives the game and drives the interest level and the replayability, because it's completely, you know, all over the place. And you know, we're just as guilty as anyone else to holding people up, handcuffing them, feeding them bleach if they don't comply with us. You know, you can do all those things and be as sadistic as you want, or, you know, or engaging. And you know, we've handcuffed people and took their blood, so we have a blood transfusion if somebody gets low, and let them on their way because they complied with us. Even gave them some food to try to regenerate their blood. And you know, so it really is a compelling experience. I would say give it a shot, if it sounds like something appealing. But I'd watch a certain amount of streams first to see if it's something that you're into. So sorry if it's a little verbose, but that's why I wanted to do it in video as opposed to writing it out. So thanks.